Welcome to the show of New Jersey Buzz Local, bringing you positive stories one community at a time. Jersey Fresh, the Garden State, it's what New Jersey is made of. And I have the distinct honor of interviewing the Department of Agriculture Secretary Douglas Fisher today on the show to talk to us a little bit about what he does and also what's going on with Jersey Fresh. Because as we know, pick your own and all of those fun little agritourism things that we do are kind of on hold, but maybe not forever. Welcome to the show.
Great to be here, April. Always nice to be with you. Sometimes we're out on farms and in the public, and you're always doing a great job for agriculture.
I love our farmers. They're the hardest working people I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that.
Well, for our viewers, tell them what you do for the state of New Jersey and our farmers.
Well, Secretary of Agriculture encompasses a whole number of areas that we work with. Of course, we actually, obviously work with the farming community. We have several divisions within the Department of Agriculture. We have food nutrition, which is in charge of monitoring all the school feeding programs in the state, feeding 600 and some thousand kids a day. And of course, right now we're using different channels to be able to get that food to our students. We also work with EFOs, which is the emergency feeding operations. And then, of course, on the farm side, we're working with several divisions. Plant is one, division of plant, division of animal health, ag and natural resources. Also, I'm chairman of the SADC in any number of areas, all related to agriculture across the state. So it's all encompassing, and spend a lot of time working with Farm Bureau and with the State Board of Agriculture, the ag boards, the county ag boards. So it's a lot of moving parts.
A lot. It's what people don't realize, that the Garden State has a lot of farms. I love this question. So how many farms are in New Jersey today? Well,
at last count, we had 9,900 farms, and it actually increased from the last census, which was about 2015. So we're pleased about that. And of course, we have farms that range the gamut from, a very small farm that someone's using to augment their income to large farms across the state, where they're farming thousands of acres. We have some farmers that farm 3,000 acres in New Jersey. It's big business, and it's everywhere in every county, just about, where we have agricultural activity that's going on, whether it's nurserymen and nurserywomen that grow all the plants in floriculture, horticulture, whether it's our vegetable growers or our fruit growers. And of course, we have grains, people that raise animals, poultry, beef. So New Jersey is very interesting because being the most densely populated state in the country, and yet we grow probably the most varieties. We grow hundreds of different crops in the state. So it's quite a miraculous thing.
It's really impressive. And in fact, you have a really cool website, Find Jersey Fresh. Mm-hmm. People can go on to see all the different farms, and when you are in season, who's doing the pick your own and who's doing the Christmas tree farms, etc. It's pretty cool.
Right. And so it's pretty much you decide when you go onto that site, findjerseyfresh.com, what you're looking for. So if you want to go apple picking, you type in apples, it'll tell you where that farm is that's closest to you, and or the several farms, and where you might want to, where you want to pick from. Or as you said, in December, you're going to be wanting to cut down a Christmas tree, cut and choose. So it's a great site. We've worked very hard on it, and we revamped it a couple of years ago, about a year and a half now.
Yeah, and you have great recipes too.
So that's something we're expanding upon. We're doing on our Facebook and on our website. We're having people submit their entry, and we're having a lot of fun with that. And 9 million people. There's a lot of recipes out there in this state.
Yeah, there are, and there's some really good ones too. Which leads me into the fact that this time of the year, we always get like a press announcement to attend some destination that you go to cover a farm. And last year, around this time, it was Specca Farm for the strawberries. So we're not doing pick your own. I mean, What's going on with that? Because vegetables don't know we're in quarantine.
That's a great line. Well, first of all, every business in the state is being affected. Every person in the state is being affected on how things are operating. Fortunately for agriculture, agriculture is considered essential, and so we really haven't missed a beat that way. Farmers are out in the fields. They're putting crops in and tending to crops, expecting a harvest. And as the harvest comes on, people can still buy the way they traditionally buy, whether it's supermarkets or farm stands or farmers markets. But there's a lot of rules that have to take place, just like the governor in every governor's executive order talks about social distancing, PPE. So when you talk about pick your own, all the protocols will have to be established, but we're pretty sure that they're going to be able to do that. Rutgers has some guidelines that they've given to farmers. And in addition to that, you certainly can call your local farm or farm stand or operator wherever you go and ask them what arrangements are they making. Some make delivery, some are doing scheduled times where you can, show up and they'll have the order ready for you. So it's just a little different. It's more cumbersome at times, but nothing's changed. There's going to be plenty of Jersey product around.
Oh yeah, and I'm excited because now I also saw, which I thought was pretty cool, that New Jersey Against Hunger have been doing a lot of working with the farms to distribute food, because there's a lot of people out there that have not received their unemployment, haven't received their stimulus, haven't received anything, and they don't have money. This is great.
Yeah, so Farmers Against Hunger is a phenomenal organization within the Ag Society of New Jersey. And they and a number of other groups are doing a great work working with the farmers, trying to get product from the farm so that they can have fresh product to deliver to those that are having fallen on tough times. And, there's a lot of people out there that are really, had a job yesterday and don't have a job today and need help. So not only are the groups, as you mentioned, like Farmers Against Hunger, but also the emergency feeding operations, the food banks, they're working very hard to make this happen.
Yeah, I think it's fabulous. I've seen, these times really bring the best out in people, and we've seen a lot of amazing things happen. And then now is another important time of the year. It's called Mother's Day, and flowers and plants and you put out a great piece the other day. So tell our viewers what your thoughts are on Mother's Day.
Sure. Well, certainly, what better way to pay homage to your mother or loved one by sending her flowers or a plant. Yes, the reason I put that piece out was because farmers and agriculturalists that grow these phenomenal plants in our state, of which New Jersey is number 4 in floriculture in the country, they lost millions of dollars because they were at Easter time. They were ready, the plants were facing out, ready to pop onto the scene. And because the supply chain was affected so greatly, so fast, they just couldn't get to where they needed to be. People were confused as to whether they could go to a garden center and get flowers. They can. And so here we are at Mother's Day. You'll be doing 2 things. One, everybody knows when you get a flower, what it means. It's expression of love and appreciation. So that's what we want to do for our mothers. And at the same time, you'll be helping the local farm community in New Jersey grow extraordinary plants that, it helps them survive as growers. So, use plants and flowers where you can that have been grown right here in the state. And the garden centers and farms have these plants ready for you to take home.
Okay. I love it because, with all the chaos, I don't know if you realize it is Small Business Week, and we are promoting Small Business Month, and farmers definitely make up the small business sector to support local. And we just ask that New Jersey steps up and contributes to these small businesses if you can, and the farmers especially, because, this stuff doesn't sit on a shelf. It goes bad. They need to use it now, right?
That's right. And yes, it's perishable. It's as perishable as any food product. It has a certain life. It's brought to that certain time when it's in its peak bloom, and that's what we want to do. And I was a small business person for 30 years. So I truly can say to you, it means a lot when your local community supports you. A lot of these small businesses and are such great supporters of not only the economy, but of their friends and neighbors. They do so many special things, giving back to the community. And this is the time when the community can really do something special for them.
Amen to that. That's right, guys. Remember, when we get out of this, you're going to have your PTA, your soccer, your baseball, fundraisers, tricky trays, and you ask. So now's the time to give back so that you can ask again. That's my say.
Nice. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on to the show. I know you're busy. I appreciate it. Everyone go to Find Jersey Fresh. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook. Look for every summer they have a game. Love it. And it's a great resource. So thank you so much again for coming on.
Thank you, April. Be safe, be well, take care of yourself.